The massive crystal dome of the High Council chamber sparkled under 3 artificial suns. Inside, 12 of the most powerful beings in the galaxy sat around a floating table, their tentacles, appendages, and in some cases pure energy forms, all showing signs of distress. Before them, a holographic display showed images that made even the most composed council members squirm in their seats. "This can't be real," muttered Council Leader Gray, his metallic skin reflecting rainbow patterns across the chamber. His 4 eyes blinked in sequence as he studied the report again. "Humans are dating everyone." The intelligence officer, a tall being made entirely of shifting blue gas, contained within a clear suit, moved forward. "Our reports are clear, sir. In the 6 months since humans joined the galactic community, they have begun romantic relationships with members of 37 different species." A wave of murmurs swept through the chamber. The Rock Elder, whose body looked like a walking mountain, slammed his crystal fist on the table. "But some of these species breathe methane. Others are made of living metal. One species is literally a collection of floating light orbs." "That's exactly what makes this so concerning," the intelligence officer continued. "Humans don't seem to care about biological differences. They find ways to make it work." The display changed to show various human couples with their alien partners. There was a human man having dinner with a methane-breathing alien, both separated by a special glass wall, but clearly enjoying their date. Another image showed a human woman playing light catch with her orb-being partner in a gravity-free chamber. "Look at this data." The officer highlighted several charts. "Humans have a unique ability to find attractive features in almost any sentient species. Where other races see terrifying differences, humans see exciting new possibilities." The plant elder, whose flower head changed colors with her emotions, turned a deep shade of worry purple. "But how do they, make it work physically?" The intelligence officer's gaseous form swirled uncomfortably. "Humans are creative, very creative. They've already developed various technologies and solutions for cross-species intimacy. Their engineers seem particularly motivated in this area. This goes against thousands of years of galactic tradition," declared the energy being elder, their form flickering with agitation. "Species are supposed to stay with their own kind. It's safer that way. Simpler." The display changed again, showing the human-alien wedding ceremony. The human bride was exchanging vows with a silicon-based life form, their happiness evident despite their completely different biology. "That's not even the most concerning part," the officer added. "Humans are actively promoting this behavior. They've created dating applications that translate alien body language and pheromone signals. They're building special entertainment venues where different species can socialize safely. They call them cosmic mixers." Council Leader Gray stood up, his metallic form catching the light. "This could destabilize everything we've built. The careful separation of species has kept peace for millennia. If humans keep this up, they'll change the very fabric of our society." The intelligence officer's gaseous form pulsed thoughtfully. "Sir, with all due respect, I think that's already happening. Look at these satisfaction ratings." New charts appeared, showing surprisingly positive feedback from various species about their interactions with humans. Many beings report feeling truly seen and accepted for the first time. The chamber fell silent as the council processed this information. Finally, the Rock Elder spoke again, his voice softer now. Perhaps we should study this phenomenon further before taking any action." Council Leader Gray nodded slowly. "Agreed. But keep this quiet for now. The last thing we need is for every species in the galaxy to know that humans will." He paused, searching for diplomatic words, "find them attractive regardless of their appearance or biology." Little did the council know, but the news was already spreading across the galaxy. And in bars, stations, and colonies everywhere, lonely aliens of all shapes and sizes were beginning to wonder if maybe, just maybe, there was a human out there who would find them beautiful too. Ambassador Tom walked into the council chamber with a bright smile that made several council members shift uncomfortably in their seats. His presentation files floated beside him in a holographic bubble, and his standard-issue translator pin gleamed on his chest. "Thank you for having me here today," he said, standing at the center of the chamber. "I understand there are some concerns about human relationship patterns." Council Leader Gray's metallic skin rippled with unease. "Concerns is putting it mildly, Ambassador. Your species is causing chaos across the galaxy." Tom's smile didn't fade as he opened his first file, the holographic display filled with images from Earth's history. "Let me tell you a story about humanity," he began. "For thousands of years, even on our own planet, humans were divided. Different colors, cultures, languages. At first, many thought these differences meant we couldn't mix. The display showed ancient photographs, paintings, and documents. But humans have a special gift. We see beauty everywhere. Where others see barriers, we see bridges waiting to be built." A plant elder raised her leaf hand. "But Ambassador, finding your own species attractive, despite differences, is natural. This attraction to completely alien life forms is unprecedented." Tom nodded, changing the display to show modern human-alien couples. "Look at this couple here." He pointed to a human woman having a picnic with a gaseous being. They sat in a special chamber divided by a transparent barrier, sharing the same view while eating their very different meals. They found a way to enjoy meals together despite not being able to breathe the same air. The display changed again, showing a human man playing a musical instrument while a crystalline being resonated in harmony. And these two discovered they could make music together. She vibrates her crystal form to match his guitar strings. They're now one of the most popular duos in 3 sectors. The energy being elder flickered angrily. "But what about biological compatibility? The risks, the complications?" Tom's smile turned gentle. "With respect, Elder, humans have already solved most of those problems. Our scientists and engineers love a good challenge." He brought up technical diagrams of various safety systems and adaptation technologies. "Every barrier you can think of, we found a way around it. Special environmental chambers, translation systems that convert chemical signals to visual ones, adaptive interface suits." The Rock Elder rumbled forward. "That's exactly what worries us. You're changing the natural order." "Are we?" Tom asked, his voice serious for the first time. "Or are we just helping people connect who always wanted to, but never thought they could?" He displayed a new set of statistics. Since humans joined the galactic community, cross-species cooperation has increased by 300%. Trade disputes have dropped by 40%. Even tourism between traditionally hostile species has risen dramatically. The chamber fell silent as the numbers sank in. Tom continued softly. "Love isn't just about physical compatibility. It's about finding someone who makes you feel understood, appreciated, and valued. Humans are good at that. We look at a being made of crystal or gas or pure energy, and we don't just see an alien. We see someone capable of sharing joy, sorrow, and everything in between." Council Leader Gray's metallic form shimmered thoughtfully. "But the chaos, the disruption to our societies." "Change always brings some chaos," Tom agreed. "But look at these satisfaction ratings." He showed new charts. Species that never thought they could find companionship are discovering they were wrong. Beings who felt isolated because of their unique biology are finding partners who appreciate them exactly as they are. He closed his files, the holograms fading away. "You can try to stop this, of course. Pass laws. Create barriers. But humans are very persistent when it comes to love. We've spent our entire history breaking down walls between people. It's kind of our thing." As Tom left the chamber, the council members sat in stunned silence. Through the crystal dome above, they could see ships moving through space. And on one of them, a human and a silicon-based being were probably having their first date. The warning hadn't gone as planned. Instead of frightening the council about human behavior, Tom had given them something far more dangerous: Hope that love really could transcend every barrier, even the ones between stars. The emergency meeting of the High Council lasted 3 days. By the end, even the energy-being elders' glow had dimmed from exhaustion. But finally, they had their solution. Emergency Resolution 47B, the most comprehensive set of anti-fraternization laws ever created. Let the record show, Council Leader Gray announced, his metallic skin dull from stress, that all non-professional contact between humans and other species is now strictly forbidden. The massive screens around the chamber displayed the new rules. No social gatherings between humans and aliens. No private meetings without official supervision. No sharing of personal living spaces. No exchange of entertainment or cultural materials. Mandatory distance of at least 3 meters between species. All communication must be work-related. No joint recreational activities. The plant elder's petals drooped as she read the list. Are we certain this is necessary? Absolutely, the rock elder rumbled. Just this morning, I caught my own crystal nephew planning a movie night with a human. They were going to watch something called romantic comedies. This madness must stop. The enforcement began immediately. Across the galaxy, special teams moved out to implement the new rules. They started with the easiest targets, public spaces. On Space Station Beta 7, officers interrupted a dance class where humans were teaching aliens the electric slide. The gelatinous being instructor protested that it was just exercise, but the officers weren't fooled by the way his transparent form blushed pink whenever his human partner smiled. In the Centauri shopping district, they shut down a popular restaurant that had special compatibility booths, where humans and aliens could share meals while separated by environmental barriers. The owner argued it was just dinner, but security footage showed too many lingering looks and tentacle hand brushes across the separation fields. The virtual reality centers were next. The council discovered humans had created programs that let them interact with other species in simulated environments where biological differences didn't matter. These were immediately classified as dangerous technology and banned. But the council hadn't counted on human creativity or alien cooperation. On planet Rigel 4, a human-alien book club insisted they were conducting sino-linguistic research. Their current reading material, Pride and Prejudice, was classified as a historical document. The Asteroid Mining Guild reported that productivity actually dropped after human-alien pairs were separated. Apparently, many species worked better with their human partners around. They filed formal protests citing economic impact. Even the council's own staff caused problems. A junior clerk, made entirely of floating light particles, filed a discrimination complaint when she was told she couldn't have lunch with her human coworker anymore. "We just talk about work," she insisted, though her glow turned a suspicious shade of pink. The enforcement teams were overwhelmed. Humans and aliens kept finding creative ways around the rules. Business meetings that ran mysteriously long. Cultural exchange programs that seemed to exchange a lot of personal messages. Scientific research projects that required unusually close contact. Educational workshops that taught suspiciously romantic topics. By the end of the first week, the council's enforcement budget had tripled. They had to hire more officers just to process all the professional meeting permits being requested. Council Leader Gray called another emergency session. "This isn't working," he admitted, his metallic skin showing stress fractures. "They're just finding more creative ways to meet." The gas cloud elder swirled anxiously. Yesterday, a human filed a patent for a universal compatibility suit, claiming it was for emergency rescue operations. The designs included mood lighting and a music player. The energy-being elder flickered in frustration. "We caught 24 couples claiming they were practicing interspecies emergency procedures. They were slow dancing." As the council argued about what to do next, a junior aide rushed in with more bad news. The latest surveys showed that since the decree, interest in human-alien relationships had actually increased. Apparently, forbidden love was even more attractive than regular love. The rock elder's crystalline form slumped. "Maybe," he said slowly, "we're approaching this the wrong way." But before they could discuss it further, another aide burst in. Someone had just started an underground dating service called Professional Partners that matched humans and aliens for completely legitimate business meetings. The council stared at each other in defeat. It was becoming clear that Emergency Resolution 47B might not be the solution they'd hoped for. In fact, it might be making things much, much worse. Nobody quite remembered who created Stars in Your Eyes. The dating site appeared on the galactic internet 3 days after Emergency Resolution 47B went into effect. At first, it looked like a simple business networking platform, but those who knew what to look for found something else entirely. Looking for a warm personality. That was code for meetings with plasma-based beings. Enjoys long walks in methane atmospheres, obviously meant for gas giant species. Appreciates crystalline structure. Clear signal for silicon-based life forms. The site grew faster than a quantum computer could count. Within a month, it had 10 million users. By the second month, that number had doubled. The council's tech team tried to shut it down, but the site's servers jumped between planets faster than light speed. Every time they closed one access point, 3 more popped up. The humans called it playing whack-a-mole, though nobody quite understood why. "The situation is getting out of hand," reported the head of security, a being made of pure magnetic fields. His form crackled with stress as he showed the latest numbers. "They're not just dating anymore. They're getting married." The evidence was clear. On planet Exeron 5, a human and a light being had found a way to combine their civil ceremonies. The human wore a special suit that glowed with her partner's energy patterns, while the light being had learned to shape their form into a human-like silhouette. Underground clubs started appearing across the galaxy. The most famous was the Melting Pot on Space Station Gamma 9. On paper, it was a cultural research facility. In reality, it was the hottest interspecies dating spot in 3 sectors. The club's owner, a clever human named Jack, had designed special areas for every type of being. Anti-gravity zones for floating species, pressure chambers for deep space dwellers, temperature-controlled rooms for plasma beings, crystal resonance chambers for silicon-based life forms. "We're just studying cultural interaction," Jack would say whenever inspectors showed up. The fact that these cultural interactions often led to romantic relationships was, he claimed, purely coincidental. Even the council's own children were involved. The rock elder nearly cracked when he discovered his daughter had joined a xenobiology study group that was really a fan club for human music. She claimed to be interested in the acoustical properties, but her crystal form sparkled suspiciously whenever human love songs played. The energy being elder's offspring was caught transmitting poetry to a human writer. "It's a translation exercise," they claimed, though the poems had titles like "Sparks Between Us" and "Your Heat Matches Mine." The revolution spread to every corner of space. Humans and aliens found endless ways to connect. Virtual reality cafes where species could meet safely. Translation apps that turned chemical signals into love notes. Special suits that let different species hold hands. Holoprojectors that helped couples see each other in compatible forms. But the biggest surprise came from the scientific community. Research showed that cross-species couples were actually improving galactic stability. Trade routes ran smoother when operated by mixed teams. Diplomatic missions had better success rates with human-alien pairs. Even war zones calmed down when mixed couples moved into border regions. "Love," explained one human scientist to a baffled council panel, "makes people want to solve problems instead of fighting about them. When you love someone different from you, you learn to see past differences." The council watched helplessly as their carefully ordered galaxy transformed. Mixed-species neighborhoods appeared on every planet. Restaurants installed universal compatibility dining rooms. Entertainment venues added special effects so all species could enjoy shows together. In the council chamber, Leader Gray's metallic skin had developed a permanent worry pattern. Perhaps, he said, watching another report about a successful human-alien wedding, we should consider a different approach. The gas cloud elder swirled thoughtfully. My nephew seems much happier since he started dating that human botanist. She actually appreciates his different molecular states. Outside the chamber, another notification pinged. Stars in Your Eyes had just added its 50 millionth user. The revolution wasn't coming anymore. It was already here. And it sparkled with every color in the galaxy. The small bar on asteroid X227 didn't have a name. It didn't even officially exist. But every night, beings from across the galaxy found their way there. They called it the meeting point, though never in front of enforcement officers. Tonight, like every night, the bar's special chambers were full. In one corner, a human man shared jokes with a plasma being through a heat-proof screen. At another table, a silicon-based life form played chess with a human woman, their laughter ringing through translation speakers. The bar's owner, a human named Max, had turned avoiding council regulations into an art form. Every room had an official scientific purpose. Every meeting was logged as a cultural exchange. Even the drinks were labeled as xenobiological samples. Council inspection. The warning came through hidden speakers. Within seconds, the bar transformed. Chessboards became research tables. Love notes turned into scientific papers. Couples shifted smoothly into professional poses they'd practiced dozens of times. The head inspector, a towering crystal being, moved through the bar with growing frustration. Everything seems technically legal, he admitted, checking another room where a human and a gas cloud being were studying atmospheric compositions while sharing what looked suspiciously like a romantic dinner. But the resistance wasn't just in hidden bars. It had spread everywhere. Public parks installed environmental research pods that just happened to be perfect for private conversations between different species. Libraries added cross-cultural communication booths that offered surprising privacy. Even grocery stores created xenobiological sampling stations where couples could shop together despite different atmospheric needs. The council's enforcement teams were fighting a losing battle. "Sir," reported one officer, "we found a human crystal being couple in the Mineral Museum. They claim they're doing geological surveys, but they're holding appendages." Another team called in. "There's a suspicious number of humans attending plasma physics lectures, and they're all sitting next to plasma beings. We caught a human teaching a gas cloud being about Earth dance moves," a third officer reported. "They say it's cultural exercise studies." Even space itself became a meeting place. Asteroid mining teams reported finding small hollowed-out spaces equipped with compatibility chambers. Space truckers created secret meeting points in quiet sectors. Station maintenance workers built hidden passages between environmental zones. The resistance grew more creative every day. Book clubs that studied nothing but romance novels from different species. Sports teams that always seemed to pair humans and aliens together. Art classes focusing on appreciating different forms of beauty. Music groups practicing interspecies harmony. But the biggest shock came from within the council itself. During a routine security sweep, they discovered that 3 council members had secretly joined Stars in Your Eyes under fake names. The plant elder was caught attending photosynthesis appreciation classes taught by a human botanist. Her leaves turned a guilty shade of pink when questioned. The energy being elder's private records showed frequent visits to a human poetry reading group. "I'm studying their use of metaphors," they claimed, though their glow pulsed suspiciously. Even Council Leader Gray was discovered having regular meetings with a human cultural advisor that ran much longer than necessary. "We discuss many important matters," he insisted, his metallic skin rippling in what looked like embarrassment. In a quiet corner of the council chamber, the rock elder spoke softly to his colleagues. "My daughter, she's actually happy with her human partner. They found a way to make music together. He plays guitar, and she resonates her crystal form in harmony. I've never seen her sparkle so brightly." The gas cloud elder swirled gently. Perhaps the humans are teaching us something important. My nephew and his human partner just invented a new form of dance that works for both their species. It's actually quite beautiful. Outside, in countless hidden places across the galaxy, humans and aliens continued to meet, talk, laugh, and fall in love. The resistance wasn't fighting with weapons or armies. It was winning with something much more powerful, hearts that refused to recognize barriers. And every day, more beings joined them, proving that love really could find a way through any obstacle, even the laws of a galactic council. Dr. Jones stood before the council, his research team behind him. They were an unusual sight: a human geneticist, a crystal being mathematician, a gas-cloud physicist, and an energy being neurologist. But their findings were about to change everything. "We've discovered why humans can fall in love with any species," Dr. Jones announced, activating the holographic display. "It's not just emotional. It's actually coded into their DNA." The chamber filled with complex diagrams showing human brain patterns. The crystal mathematician stepped forward, her form sparkling with excitement. "Human brains are unique," she explained. "When they see another being, they don't just process physical appearance. They create emotional connections based on personality, intelligence, and shared interests. Their pattern recognition abilities are extraordinary." The gas cloud physicist swirled forward, adding to the explanation. "Watch what happens when a human meets a new species." The display showed brain scans of humans meeting different aliens for the first time. "See these neural pathways lighting up. Humans automatically look for ways to connect. Where other species see differences, human brains search for similarities. They're hardwired to find common ground." The energy being neurologists' form pulsed as they shared their findings. "We tested humans' emotional responses to different species. The results were amazing. They can literally fall in love with a personality, regardless of physical form." The evidence was overwhelming. Human brains released bonding hormones when connecting with any sentient species. Their neural pathways adapted to understand alien body language. Their emotional centers responded to alien expressions of affection. Their memory centers stored and cherished shared experiences regardless of the partner species. "But here's the most interesting part," Dr. Jones continued. "This ability isn't just helping humans. It's changing other species too." The team showed new data: crystalline beings learning to read human facial expressions, gas cloud species developing ways to mirror human emotions, energy beings creating new forms of communication to connect with humans, even rock-based life forms showing increased emotional responses. The more time species spend with humans, the more they develop similar connection abilities, the crystal mathematician explained. "It's like humans are teaching the galaxy how to love differently." The council sat in stunned silence as more evidence appeared. Mixed species couples showed stronger problem-solving abilities. Their children, when biologically possible, had unique advantages. Even non-reproductive partnerships led to amazing scientific and cultural innovations. "Look at these invention records," the gas cloud physicist displayed a new chart. "Mixed couples have created more new technologies in the past year than single-species teams did in the last decade." Examples filled the screen. A human crystal couple invented new communication systems. A human gas cloud pair developed revolutionary spaceship designs. A human energy being duo created new forms of art and music. A human rock being team discovered new ways to terraform planets. "But what about the risks?" asked Council Leader Gray, his metallic skin showing concerned patterns. "The biological complications, the cultural conflicts." Dr. Jones smiled. "That's the beauty of it. Humans don't just fall in love despite differences. They fall in love because of them. They see challenges as opportunities to grow, to create, to solve problems together." The energy being neurologist pulsed brightly. "We found that human brains actually show increased activity when facing relationship challenges. They enjoy finding solutions. It makes the bond stronger." The crystal mathematician's form sparkled as she added, And look at the data on relationship satisfaction. New charts appeared, showing incredibly high happiness rates among mixed species couples. Humans have given us something remarkable, Dr. Jones concluded. They've shown us that love isn't limited by biology, physics, or even the basic laws of nature. They've proved that hearts can connect across any distance, through any barrier. As the presentation ended, the council members sat quietly, processing what they'd learned. Outside the chamber, across the galaxy, countless couples were proving these findings true, one relationship at a time. The science was clear. Humans weren't just breaking rules about love, they were rewriting them. And maybe that wasn't such a bad thing after all. 5 years after Emergency Resolution 47B was repealed, the galaxy had changed in ways nobody could have predicted. The Great Council Chamber itself reflected this change. Environmental barriers had been replaced with advanced compatibility fields that let all species mix freely while maintaining their needed conditions. Council Leader Gray, his metallic skin now showing happy patterns, stood to begin the annual Galactic Unity celebration. Beside him, his human wife helped adjust his ceremonial cloak, their unique relationship a symbol of how far things had come. Fellow beings of the galaxy, he began, looking out at the most diverse crowd ever assembled in the chamber. Today we celebrate 5 years since we finally admitted what humans knew all along. Love knows no boundaries. The chamber erupted in cheers, a symphony of different sounds. Crystal beings chimed in harmony. Gas cloud species swirled in joy patterns. Energy beings pulsed with bright colors. Rock beings rumbled in approval. Humans laughed and clapped. The changes were everywhere. Space stations had become cultural melting pots, with special zones designed for all species to mix comfortably. The most popular restaurant in the galaxy, Universal Love, had 50 different types of environmental booths, all connected by advanced holographic systems so couples could feel like they were dining at the same table. The entertainment industry had exploded with creativity. Movies now came with special effects tailored for each species' vision type. Music included frequencies that all beings could enjoy. Sports had been redesigned to allow mixed species teams. Art galleries used multiple sensory inputs to make pieces accessible to everyone. But the biggest changes were in everyday life. Walking down any street in any major spaceport, you might see a human and a crystal being teaching their adopted gas cloud child about both cultures, an energy being and their human partner running a successful business together, a rock being carrying their human spouse in a special gravity-free chamber, mixed species friend groups hanging out in compatibility zones. Education had transformed too. Schools now taught multi-species communication, cross-cultural understanding, adaptive technology use, universal relationship skills. The scientific community had flourished. Mixed species research teams had made incredible breakthroughs. New medical treatments that worked for all species, better space travel technology, advanced communication systems, revolutionary environmental adaptation tools. Even traditional families had adapted. It wasn't uncommon to see human parents attending a crystal being's graduation ceremony, rock being grandparents babysitting human children, energy being cousins playing with human relatives, gas cloud beings celebrating human holidays. The dating app Stars in Your Eyes had become the galaxy's largest social platform, with 2 billion users. Its slogan changed from "Find Your Interstellar Love" to simply "Love Has No Limits." Back in the council chamber, Leader Gray continued his speech. "Remember when we thought humans were causing chaos? We didn't realize they were showing us a better way. Today, our galaxy isn't just more unified, it's happier." The statistics proved it. Interspecies conflicts down 90%. Trade between different species up 300%. Scientific discoveries increased by 500%. Cultural exchange at an all-time high. The plant elder, whose flowers now always bloomed in happy colors, added, "My human son-in-law taught me that different doesn't mean wrong. It just means there's more to love." The energy being elder pulsed in agreement. My human partner helped me see that connection isn't about physical form, it's about what's inside. As the celebration continued, news came in from across the galaxy. The first human crystal being couple had just celebrated their 5th anniversary. A human gas cloud pair had won the Galactic Science Prize. A human energy being duo had created the year's most popular art installation. A human rock being team had discovered a new habitable planet. The galaxy had changed forever, and everyone agreed it was for the better. Humans hadn't just fought for their right to love. They had shown the entire galaxy how to love better, bigger, and without limits. As the celebration ended, Leader Gray raised his glass in a toast. To the humans who taught us that love isn't about what you are, but who you are. And to a future where every heart, no matter its composition, can find its match. The galaxy would never be the same. And that was exactly how it should be.